initiative I would like to introduce today is called, we have the cloud-based China Data Lab. So this is a new initiative. We try to integrate the data tour and also data case studies, and for the different users and also for the trainings. So there are some features for this China Data Lab. So this will be totally different than our traditional data service. So this data platform will allow the user to get access to all the full or partial source data on the cloud. Users can use those powerful tools for data processing and analysis on the cloud without downloading the data. Because in this way, we can allow the user to use the data, but also to protect the property of the right of the data. So data vendors can feel free to offer their data support. And also another issue is when we have now and more data, and even the big data, it's almost impossible for users to download everything into their desktop and then use the software to process the data. So the data and all the data probably has to be accessible from the cloud, from the server directly. And also with this platform, the user can learn from the workflow-based data case studies. And they can download the results and report after approved. And with the platform, with this data case studies, users they can then replicate, reproduce, and expand those case studies on the cloud. So here's the interface so this interface will provide a platform and for the data providers, research center and labs, tour providers, and also for faculty and students. So here's the sample of the interface. You can see the tour. This is the kind of tour list here. That's similar to virtual site, and offered by many the tour vendors company now, like some VMware, Citrix. And here's some the data source list here. Here's some the different applications for the software, for the GIS, for workflow, and for spatial data analysis. So here I would like to give a demo and what kind of the workflow-based data case study. So we're planning to develop a data case study and based on build kind of workflow. So here is a sample, and based on our previous publication, religious diversity and regional development. So the purpose for this paper is try to test the impact of the religious diversity on regional development in China. So for those data analysts in this paper, there is a kind of pretty complicated the workflow. So you have to get the data from different sources, from Excel file. The data can be from static data, sense data, and also GIS shape files. Those data will be integrated with the different tools, with Excel, with static software, and or use the GIS, the software, to do some spatial static analysis, spatial modeling, and generate a chart, table, and maps. And then, so that's the kind of the workflow, the flow chart for the papers. Now so this for those kind of analysis, we need at least you need to know how to use Excel and ArcGIS and also static softwares. Now we can build all the workflow in one system, and you don't have to even program. You just configure the workflows. So this is an example of the part of this workflow and how this workflow looks like.